Okay, everybody being recorded now. All right. Have you all ever been to one of these debates before? One of these SU debates?
I went to Wahab's here when it was him and Azmi. Azmi.
That's interesting.
Did you vote for Hazmi or did you vote for Wahab?
Oh, I don't think I'm allowed to disclose that. Sorry.
That debate was like we got destroyed in that debate so much that we went the next year. We spent like 12 hours practicing for the next debate.
And like the next year, it was way better, like moderated than it was that year. Because that year it was moderated by Dramasoft, and didn't really, I think, keep tabs on people. But then the year after, like an external person came in to moderate it, and it was a lot better. But oh man, makes me laugh.
And we might just get like we wait until like 5 past, see however much many people we can get in, and then we'll start. And for everybody who is on the Instagram, we are on the link in our bio. We're doing the debate right now. This Instagram is just kind of a way to just get people to come into this Blackboard Collaborate site. But you could stay on Instagram. You could be friends. It would really be best to join the link in our bio, though, if you don't mind. You could ask questions. We have Team Pursuit. This is David already. And this is Athir from Team SU. I think they're both doing a very good job so far in terms of campaigning. This might be one of the best ways to differentiate who's better. So definitely come down. No pressure at all. So yeah, join link in the bio, please. Come show some support and ask plenty questions, because at the end of the day, one of these people are going to be representing you all for the next year on everything from academics to events. Come show support.
I'm watching the live. It's so cute.
All right, when we hit 50, we'll start. Everybody don't forget to join the live, the thing. You know, say hello in this, if you want. All right, we have 54 people. So welcome everybody. My name is Javid. We have Jyoti on the call as well as Tim. Jyoti is the events officer for this year, and Tim is the education officer for the current SU. We just want to say thanks very much for joining us. We have two teams here. We have Team SU and Team Pursuit. We'll let them introduce themselves in a second. But essentially, this is the only way you'll be able to kind of hear from both teams and see them go head to head to test their caliber. So pay attention, ask any questions that you want. If you notice on the right hand side of the screen, there's a chat function. So you could see where is it? There's a chat channel that says everyone. I'm gonna type hello in that right now. Hello, everyone. So you could just, if you're interested, you could type any questions that you have there. Tim will go through them, make sure they're appropriate to be asked, and at the end of the session, when the teams introduce themselves, we'll be able to ask those questions. If you have any questions or any issues with the actual app, you could send us a message to the moderators chat, right? So I'll come to either myself, to Tim, or to Jyoti, and we'll be able to help you get sorted out. And yeah, so I'll let, we did a coin toss about 5 minutes before you all came in. So I'll let Team SU introduce themselves first. But before we do, let's say hello to everybody who's on the call. Dupree, could you say hello?
Everyone.
So that's Dupree.
Can you hear me?
He's yeah, I can hear you and I can see you now. Brilliant. So that's Dupree. He's the president of the SU team, and Hugh.
How's it going?
That's Hugh Wolf. He's the vice president of the SU team. And then we have Athir.
Hello.
Athir is the cultural officer of the SU team. And then we have Team Pursuit. So Reem, can you say hello?
Hello.
This is Reem. She's the president of Team Pursuit. And we have Fatma.
Fatima just got disconnected.
Fatima just got disconnected. But Fatima is the vice president of Team Pursuit, and David Ellery. David? Where's David? David? David?
I think his internet's being.
Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, we just ask if everybody could just keep their mics off. If you're not speaking, keep your mics off. So everybody who's just in the audience, just keep your mics off, please. And Jody will be taking over in terms of handling the opening statement and the questions from both teams. So Jody.
Okay, so now we're going to start with our opening statements. So again, each team gets 3 people to talk for 2 minutes each, and you have a total of 6 minutes. I'm not going to stop you at the 2-minute marks, but I'm going to stop you at the 6-minute mark. And so SU is going to start first with Dupree. So you have 6 minutes starting now.
So hey everyone, my name is Dupree Smith. I'm running for president as part of Team SU. First, we just want to say a big thanks to the current SU for facilitating all of this, and for a big thanks to Team Pursuit for being great competitors. So we started putting this team together last year in around November. So we're really excited to finally start campaigning and start sharing our plans with you guys. It's been so fun working with the whole team so far, and I'm 100% confident in each one of my teammates that if we are to be elected, they're going to excel in their role. So, quick intro. We have Hugh as VP in Societies, we have Anna on Welfare, Abdulaziz on Education, Athir on Culture, Laura and Carter on Events, and Yoon on IT. So unfortunately, Laura and Carter couldn't be here due to exams, and on that note, we just want to say that we're so grateful and appreciative to all the students for their time and support that they've given us this week amidst their busy schedules. So, and then I'm going to quickly just talk about some of my goals for this year. And these are to increase green initiatives and make campus as sustainable as possible, to promote interaction between the many cultures and societies on campus, to significantly increase charitable work done by the SU, and lastly, to improve on the professional development services that are available. I'm also going to touch on Anna Whitaker, our welfare officer's manifesto, and her main goals are to increase the online presence where students can ask for help or access services, expand mental health courses, increase collaboration with fellow college bodies like Sports Union, Postgrad Union, and Association of Graduate Committees. So as some of you may know, RCSI is ranked first worldwide for good health and well-being, and Anna, as well as the rest of Team SU, is committed to furthering this achievement by building on the programs that are already in place and creatively introducing new ways to optimize our welfare so that all RCSI students feel 100% supported. So I won't get into how we're going to do this here, but check out our manifesto or ask us a question afterwards. But for now, I'm going to pass it on to Hugh Wolf, our VP Societies, who's going to talk about societies and events. So take it away, Hugh.
How's it going? Thanks, Dupree. So my name's Hugh Wolf, and I'm running for the position of Vice President and Societies. So throughout my 3 years in RCSI, I have amassed a wide range of experience in terms of captaining of clubs and being part of committees and societies. So together with our team SU, we plan on ensuring that all students in the college have the best possible college experience in terms of enjoyment and feeling safe within the college environment. So with COVID-19 playing a fairly sizable role in our everyday lives nowadays, we feel it's important that the current and incoming SU are strong, experienced, and suitable. In terms of the ideas put forward by myself, and I'll also touch on our two events officers' ideas towards the latter end, but we want to implement society committee member mental health training initiatives, as we find that societies, and especially their committee members, are really well placed within the college environment to be there and listen to a person in any time of need in maybe a less formal way than as would be in the rest of the mental health services available in the college. And SU and society-led guest speaker events, clubs and societies ball, and awards night, where we feel we could really reward the good work done by societies on a weekly basis in the college. Mediation and increased transparency between the Students' Union and Student Services. And then just touching on events, we're going to broaden the Mental Health Awareness Day to Mental Health Awareness Week, whereby we could run workshops and heighten the charitable side of things, where we could support the charitable work done by different services in the college. A college ski tour, a student-led mystery tour, a charity concert, and then also we're going to broaden and increase the appeal of Cultural Diversity Month. So I'm going to leave it at that and pass you on to Athir.
Hi, I'm Athir, and as Dupree said, I'm cultural officer. So I was born in Saudi Arabia, spent a lot of time there, grew up in Dublin. My parents are from Sudan, so I really have an understanding of how intricate culture is and how it's really tied to identity. Me and my team really want to be the first point of contact to students when they come to RCSI and they feel like they need the means to support themselves in showcasing and showing their culture, whether that be through collaboration between culture societies and non-culture societies, art exhibitions, fashion shows, movie nights, language workshops. We have a lot of ideas. And we really want to create that feel of home away from home so that people don't feel detached from their sense of self. In terms of education, Abdulaziz is probably one of the best people for education officer. He was the class rep when I was in first year, and it was really great to have that sort of communication between students and the intimidating and mysterious entity that is RCSI. He really advocates for education and for adaptability for education, especially given the climate. We've made such a sudden change into a completely virtual climate, and he really wants to make students feel comfortable in their learning. For Yoon is great for IT because he really doesn't like the phrase "we're working on it," full stop. He's a huge advocate in terms of communication in this is what we're working on, this is what we're trying to do, this is why it's not really working at the moment. And it's a huge thing, especially now because all learning is virtual, and really don't want students to be freaking out, especially since it's such a hard time and we want to make their lives as easy as possible. So that's it for me, and thanks for everyone, and thanks to Team Pursuit as well.
Okay, great. Thanks, Athir. Perfectly on time. Okay, so now we go over to Team Pursuit, and same deal. So you get 6 minutes starting now.
Hello, my name is Rima Shamali, and I'm running for president with Team Pursuit. I'd just like to take a second to thank you all for being here. I know how stressful and difficult time it is for everyone, especially with finals and the pandemic at the same time. So I'd like to commend the current SU for everything they've done, and thank you for being here today. So the team you see standing in front of you were strangers a few months ago. A group of strangers, all so different cultures, countries, schools, experiences, and time zones, the enemy of all things online. We met over a Zoom call and befriended each other virtually. And I've spoken more to these people than anyone in my life currently. And I can confidently say we've become an online Zoom family. What joined us was our collective thirst for more. Being active members in the past years of societies, clubs, committees, and so forth, we all ran into things we loved and things we wanted to change. We thought it was the time for RCSI to pursue new beginnings, in person, and if it comes to it, adapting online. We stand here before you as representatives of the student body, as representatives of the diversity we pride ourselves on campus. The range of voices, means even the quietest of whispers would be heard in echoes. It means whether you just moved here, will move here, or have lived here for years, you need not to worry. You will be heard. We are a team. What one lacks, the other has a plethora of. What one says, we all support. We are a team of old strangers and new friends. So vote Team Pursuit and let's pursue a new friendship together. And I'd just like to pass the platform on to our welfare officer and VP, Fatima.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fatima Leia, and I'm running as your welfare officer and vice president with Team Pursuit. In addition to echoing the words of Reem, we also feel very passionate about welfare now more than ever. Your welfare is a holistic priority to us, from your physical, mental, emotional, and academic well-being. Myself and the team will be at hand to guide and support you. The welfare portfolio in RCSI is already rich in campaigns, services, and programs. We plan on enhancing these and ensuring a strong presence for welfare support virtually. Our welfare manifesto, it's practical, it's based on the student voice and needs, as well as in tune with what RCSI has to offer for the student body. Welfare regarding general pursuits, they're going to centre on continuing the close relationships, collaboration, and communication with all RCSI welfare departments. Maintaining holistic self-care, that's going to be our mantra for this year. There is no time where universal mental health has been more critical than right now. We will continue Mental Health Week, Wellbeing Week, and Sexy Week. Given the unknowns of how college will fully function in the next academic year, we will work closely with college to ensure that these campaigns, these supports and events, they're going to be adapted online or virtually, live and recorded, as essential welfare services for the student body. Welfare Big Pursuits will encompass distance learning, healthy tech use, and managing anxiety, as well as freshers care, continuing and promoting RCSI Sex Ed, welfare e-card as well. Our pursuits in progress, they will continue great important initiatives, such as the substance abuse, promote increased bystander intervention training, and suitable sock and club society workshops, such as Tenny by Pride Sock. Welfare is a long-standing passion, a personal passion of mine. I come to you with a wealth of welfare experience. I come with the undergraduate and mature experience, the lived experience of working in the health service and the health system, as well as being an active member of the RCSI family. I'm really eager to collaborate, to adapt, to share, to learn with our RCSI family that I've come to absolutely adore. This is why I am running with Team Pursuit as your welfare officer and vice president. And now I'd like to pass you on to our education officer, David.
Thank you, Fatima. So many of you already know me, but for those of you who don't, my name is David Alderi, and I'm a fourth med student from Toronto, Canada. I'm really proud to say that I'm running for education officer on Team Pursuit for the upcoming academic year. Being at RCSI for about 5 years now, I've really come to appreciate everything that it has to offer, especially its academic support. None of my academic accomplishments would have been made possible without RCSI, which is why I'm focusing so much of my energy for this upcoming year on the introduction of more resources, as well as improving the accessibility of those that are already around. Among our manifesto ideas, you can see that we're pursuing a lot of initiatives that will benefit all schools of the college. Among all 3 schools in the college, we really hope to support and represent incoming final year students who are facing a significant fallout from the pandemic uncertainty. For the School of Medicine, we hope that the introduction to the Med Students Guide to North America eases some of the uncertainty surrounding the future of our students. For the School of Physiotherapy, we hope that the introduction of physiotherapy technique videos facilitates exam prep for our students. And for the School of Pharmacy, we hope that the introduction of the PRE handbook, the Appel placement talks, and the standardization of OSCE settings may help our students prepare for their examinations and placements alike. For all schools in the college, we hope to pursue the production of a yearly guide that will facilitate the beginning of the academic year, and that this document can become a staple of RCSI in the future. Many of our manifesto initiatives are meant to be accessible online to ensure proper adaptability and certainty of the COVID pandemic. I also hope to continue pursuing and facilitating pre-existing initiatives that have been made possible through the hard work of previous SUs. These include recorded lectures, peer-led tutorials, and the continuous engagement with class reps and library staff. As you can see, our manifesto is a collection of ideas that have been brought forward by both past and present students at RCSI from all different branches of the college. We would never want to limit ourselves to just the ideas that we've mentioned to date. If Team Pursuit is elected as your students' union, I intend to sit on a number of committees, including Student Affairs, the Student Engagement and Partnership, and the U Assembly Diagnostic Committees, to ensure that our time spent in office is a year-long collaboration between ourselves, the college admin, and the student body.
Okay, that's time.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to open up the question section. So we're going to start with SU gets to ask Pursuit one question. Sorry, we're not opening questions to the floor yet. So now the teams are going to ask each other questions, and you get 2 minutes to answer. So SU, do you want to ask Team Pursuit a question, please?
Yes. So I will ask the first question from Team SU. I'm Yun in Team SU, running for IT officer. And the first question for Team Pursuit is, with pages like RCSI, which have provided a platform for content that is disrespectful to RCSI staff, how does your team plan to respond to this page or pages like this?
You have 2 minutes to respond.
Sorry, Yoon, can you repeat the question, please? Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Pages like RCSI Spy, which have provided a platform for content that is disrespectful to RCSI staff, how does your team plan to respond to this page or pages like this?
Yoon, thank you so much for that question. I'm going to pick up that answer if you don't mind. That's a really valid point, and the RCSI Spy page and the likes are a great medium to get a little bit of humour out, but within reason. And as you can see from our manifesto, we very much will be working collaboratively with IT department, student services, as well as the student body themselves. So I think imbibing and communicating very clearly and having an open channel of communication with the students where we can explore what exactly it is that they are intending to do, but more so disseminate some good rules and boundaries, which are healthy and very necessary as part of our profession. So I think open communication, clear instructions, as well as working with the services and the students are going to be integral, not just regarding the RCSI Spy. I think this will be integral for all virtual mediums that we're going to engage with, be it from education, welfare, or events, or minor aspects such as the RCSI Spy as well.
Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. So now Pursuit can ask SU a question.
Hi, so just to remind everyone, my name is Reem, and I'm just going to ask Team SU a question. So what meaningful changes are you envisioning for a more cohesive student body where no matter someone's drinking habits, religions, or culture, people feel welcome?
I'm going to pick up that question, if that's okay. Thanks for that. So with my background, I have been exposed to so many different cultures, so many different religions, so many different backgrounds, and I really understand what makes a person more than just that sort of religion, that ethnicity, that race. It really is just about communication, trying to understand what makes that person who they are. They aren't necessarily a representation of their race, their nationality, their religion. And in terms of their backgrounds, we're all from different places. There's no one in RCSI that probably has the same background. It's such a diverse campus, and it's just a matter of talking with them, being empathetic, being understanding, and listening, and being willing to learn about them and their background. So thank you for that question, actually.
Okay, great. So now SU can ask their second question. And I just, for everybody to be able to hear properly, I'm just going to repeat the question after it's said. So, yep. Question number 2 from Team SU.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Abdulaziz. I'm the education officer. My question will be about the societies. So we believe that the societies officer is a very integral and essential part of the students' union, and because they interact with so many people and so many students. So we believe that there is a very essential requirement for this role, and they have to get a very good experience for that. Like our candidate Hugh, he has a very huge experience in society's involvement. So my question is, how does your team plan to be successful in that position, considering your society's officer manifesto, as she only has one experience within college society?
Okay, so basically the question is, for everybody listening, they're asking about the society's officer and how they plan to be successful in their role given the experience they have. So, Pursuit, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Disha. So I'm running for society officer position, and I have a lot of experience in clubs and societies, not only in college right now, but also in previous high school. And I believe that my passion in helping my fellow mates and also my eagerness throughout this journey in RCSI will make me to be able to provide for the students and also societies and clubs. And I've also taken a lot of initiative in asking clubs and societies on whatever things they are having tough time in. And I believe that certain things which they mentioned, I could really help them in making that a reality. So yeah, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Jody, you're muted.
Thank you. We've got a question from Team Pursuit for Team SU, please.
Okay, I'll be asking this question. So this is for anyone on the team. So I see from your manifesto that you are mentioning supporting students from the colleges of physiotherapy and pharmacy in terms of academic support. Do you have any initiatives in mind that can actually help these students out specifically?
Okay, someone from Team SU.
I'll take that question. So again, I'm Abdulaziz. We understand that the college has the 3 schools, pharmacy, physio, and medicine, and we really understand that there is underrepresentation for especially the physio and the pharmacy students. So taking this into consideration, we have a lot of plans to listen and to get and to reach the issues that the students are facing in the 3 schools. And going from there, we are planning to accommodate all these issues, all these difficulties, like academic and academic related issues. Like we understand that physiotherapy students are facing even accommodation issues in their peripherals. So we will also accommodate these because we believe that education is a complete process. And for example, the pharmacy students are facing issues in their placements as well, especially on the acceptance and applications. So we'll try and accommodate all these plans by, first of all, listening from the students themselves and then reaching the college. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for your answer.
Great. So now we have one last question from Team SU for Team Pursuit.
So I'll be asking the last question, and I guess it pertains mostly to Reem. So the question is, leading the SU as president is a huge responsibility and will be more challenging than ever with this upcoming year. Having previous leadership experience of this level will be crucial. For example, I've fulfilled the role of president on student union committees, both in high school and during my previous degree. Other than experience in societal roles, how will you handle these expected challenges without having presidential experience before?
Okay, just gonna repeat. Sorry, I didn't do the last one, but yeah, for everybody, Dupree is asking Reem how she's going to fill the president role, given her past experience, not being a president of student union type committees in the past. Okay, Reem, go ahead.
First of all, thank you for bringing this up. I'm sure it's a lot on a lot of people's minds. I actually have been in high school in a lot of presidential stances. I was president of a lot of things, including student union, and environmental, SOC, MUN, and so forth, but it's high school and it's really a long time ago. So talking about college itself, I'm actually very involved in college with executive committee roles on STIRSOC, Gourmet SOC, and so forth. And I'm very active from the point of view of committees. So I'm also a part of the environmental committee in campus itself, where the decisions for a green campus is actually made. So from the point of view of leadership roles, I know I'm young and it might not seem like I have an extensive amount of experience, but I do. It's because of my heavy involvement and heavy drive to be involved in the RCSI campus and RCSI family. So even with a young age, I have multiple leadership roles, multiple president roles, and multiple engagement roles in a lot of aspects. So the answer to your question is I actually do have experience.
Okay, great. Thank you, Reem. And now we're going to have one last question from Team Pursuit for Team SU.
That's great. Okay, I'd like to ask this question if you don't mind. Can Team SU, can you please exemplify with specifics how you will continue and support student well-being?
Okay, so the question from Team Pursuit is, how will you continue to support student well-being? So with Team SU.
Sorry, specifics is key in that question.
Specifics, yes, exactly. Okay, great. So Team SU, go ahead.
Hi there, my name is Anna. Can everyone hear me? You hear me? Great. I am the welfare officer for Team SU, and I'd like to take this question if that's okay. Thank you for asking it. It's a great question, especially going forward in this new year, which everything's kind of muddled and not normal. Continuing to support in specifics, I would think about increasing workshops, helping people to kind of learn more what's out there about LGBT, about mental health, about bystander intervention training. I also wanted to increase events, be it online or be it socially distanced in person. There are lots of great ones in place already, but I just wanted to expand a bit more so we can kind of engage a larger number of students, be it awareness guest speaker evenings with socially distanced lecture theatres, or going live, supporting people on Instagram, on Facebook, on our social media platforms, or being able to arrange online meetings or counselling with like the student welfare officer directly. But they're just some ideas, like we kind of, as you all know, you kind of think of new ideas every day. So we're kind of growing as we go and thinking of new ways how to support students going forward.
Great. Thank you. All right, so that brings us to the end of the structured questions. Now we will open up the floor, and I've seen that many people have submitted questions, which is great. So I'm going to hand it over to Tim, and he will take it from here.
Great, thanks, Jody. So we have a couple of questions for the audience. I will start with a question for Team SU. The first question is, you mentioned charity a lot in your manifesto and here in this debate. So what the viewers want to know is, what charities do you want to support through the year and why? That's for Team SU.
So I'll take that. Yeah, so I'll take that question. So the idea for charities came from the previous university where I was at, and we used to have events and different kinds of, not necessarily parties, but different just sorts of events where we would raise money for different charities. But how we did that was we would actually have, in the process of leading up to the event, we would shortlist charities according to what people felt was important or what was a need at that time. So whether it be local, whether it be a global crisis, we would kind of gather ideas and then actually have the participants of that event, like on the event page or through an email, we'd have them select the charity that they felt was most relevant or most needed our help at that point. And then we would, that's actually how the charity selection process came to be. So we don't necessarily have a list of charities shortlisted. We leave that up to the students of what they think is most important at the time and what's most relevant.
Great, thank you, Dupreez. And for Team Pursuit, your question, this one was brought up, and this is, I guess, for for Fatima. You mentioned open communication in one of your statements. So the question is, how exactly are you prepared to maintain an open communication with the students?
Thanks a million, Tim. So I guess open communication is the groundstone to exactly how we want to operate and will be operating. On a practical, very realistic level, that's how we like to operate. Welfare campaigns and welfare at the minute already have great online initiatives that they're using. So we want to continue that, be it the tea and chats or bringing together already existing online support, such as the counselling services which are available online. These are all means of keeping the communication open with students on a very sort of serious practical level. So when it comes to, let's say, reaching our peers in the student body on a day-to-day level, I think our campaign has been very good in establishing that we are well able in reaching the student body and the student body alone. And we will maintain, be it a virtual online or be it in person, day to day, as well as then on a practical level when it comes to welfare and education, using the means, supporting it, continuing them and furthering them.
Great, thank you. That's 1 minute there. Moving on to another question directly for Team SU. How do you plan on facilitating accommodations on peripherals from the audience?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the question was just how do you plan on facilitating the note that you made about peripheral accommodations for students in pharmacy and that.
Yeah, I'll take that question. We understand that a lot of students, especially the physios, because we discussed that with some physio students, that they are facing issues with their accommodations. Some of the accommodations, they lack some essential facilities that all the students need, and even small things matter for us. So we will discuss all these things with the college, and we'll try to push as hard as we can to get the students what they want. That's in terms of the accommodation. And in terms of placements, especially for the pharmacy students, we understand that the students are facing some difficulties with applications, with the replies from the pharmacies, and we will try to put there a very, a better way for these applications.
Is that time?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah, okay, great. And then the second question that's directly for Team Pursuit, it comes from a physio student who asked, I can't help but notice that there are no physio or pharmacy students leading your team's debate today. Do you not feel you are underrepresenting these courses, especially seeing as they are both already overlooked? Also, if you're leading your campaign solely with med students at the forefront, is this how you plan to lead our year as an SU focusing on med students?
Hi, my name is Grace. Can you hear me?
Sure can, Grace. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a physio student on Team Pursuit, and no, it's a very fair question in fairness, but to be honest, like we all know that the ratio of meds to physios and pharmacies, like there's a lot more meds, but we do have, each team has a physio and a pharmacy student on it, and I'm the physio on the team, and Anthony is the pharmacist on the team, and the three lads are just such good speakers in person and on camera, and as you can see, I'm very nervous doing this, but I need to speak out that we let them do it because they come across really well on the screen and they know what they're talking about, and they're really good at representing everyone. That's why we let them do it. And in terms of the campaign, they're definitely not leading it. All 8 of us are leading it together, but yeah, we let them do it because they are much more confident on screen than we are. But if you meet me in person, I'll be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
Great response, Grace. So there are a number of questions that came in that are just kind of for both teams. So I'll just do some general ones, and whomever from each team can chime in. And then there's some for specific officer roles that I'll get to as well. But just for either team, I think Pursuit answered that last one. So we'll start with SU response, and then we'll go to Pursuit. The question is, what initiatives are you planning to implement that were not implemented by the previous SU and is not mentioned by your current competitor? So SU, you can tackle that one first.
I'll take that. Can you see? So a big one that we'd have would be the mental health training for society committee members. In that role, like we, as an 8, we would say that it'd be brilliant to be a focal point of the college in terms of being approachable, knowing what to do in a situation where somebody might be struggling. And essentially that's only 8. Whereas if you can create that culture within every society whereby 1 or 2 people is approachable in terms of knowing what to do in what situation and having awareness of where to go with that, it kind of covers the entire college environment and sets forward a better environment for students who might be struggling to find help and seek help within that day-to-day life in college. So that's all I have to say on that.
That's just about time. Okay. For Team Pursuit, go ahead.
Same question. So I will be answering this question. I know I'm not our wellness officer, but I chose to be the one to answer this question because I think that our academic manifestos, when compared to each other, this is where you may see the most significant difference. I do have a lot of initiatives in terms of what I want to bring to the student council next year. Things like the yearly guide, as I've mentioned, Med Students Guide to North America, and we are hoping to expand it to include Irish, UK, and Australian students, as well as the physiotherapy technique videos, the placement talks, and standardizing the OSCEs. These are all initiatives that, aside from the job description of academic officer, which is listening to what your students have to say and reporting back to the college and sort of working as a middleman, I have a lot of initiatives on top of that that I want to add next year. So I think these are things that can really make a big difference compared to the next team. Thank you.
Great, that's just about time. The next question to both of you, this one is for your events officers or a proxy for them if they're not on. It's very relevant in light of the current and future COVID-19 restrictions that will most likely result in bars and what both SU's teams plans for Freshers Week and what alternative plans do you have in mind? So if you can tackle that, we'll start. Why don't we start with Pursuit?
Hi, I can take that question. You guys can hear me?
Sure can.
Okay, so obviously this is a very dynamic situation and no one's quite sure where we're going with it, what's for sure going to happen. And so obviously events, particularly Freshers Fortnight, is going to be at the forethought of everybody's minds. And so if we have to perform social distancing events, then we're going to have to think of obviously creative ways to do that. And whether that be through ideas such as introductory Zoom meetings or Netflix parties, those are one of the best ways to get things going. But for example, I know for a fact different societies throughout are doing Zoom meetings to elect their new committee members. So there's no reason as to how we can't encourage societies to promote events online or through introductory nights on a Zoom call as well. So this is the best that we can, I suppose, come up with for now, given the current situation. But again, this is always evolving, and we're constantly coming up with new ideas throughout the world on how to deal with this. So we're ready for whatever comes our way when September starts.
And that's time. Thank you, Ross. And SU, same question.
Perfect. So with Carter and Laura, our events officer, doing exams, I'll take that. So I suppose Freshers is obviously a huge event, and with the lack of face-to-face potentially as the situation evolves, we kind of really strongly put forward community involvement, and people react better and settle in better in college when they feel like they're more welcomed within that community environment. So I know it's a huge deal with the huge student welfare office in terms of how they do that. So especially Compass, we'd say, with their quizzes every Friday, we'd look at implementing things like that, where we might do virtual treasure hunts, virtual quizzes every so often, even say friendship lunches, they could go online in terms of really looking to increase the level of people knowing people within their daily life in college while not meeting them face to face.
Great. The next question is, again, for both teams. The question is, both teams have vice presidents who aren't education officer and who traditionally holds the position of VP. So for SU, your societies officer is your VP, and for Pursuit, the welfare officer. So the academic council meeting is attended by the president and the vice president only. So what is the game plan for handling the fact that your education officer won't be in those meetings? So why don't we start with SU and tackling that question?
Perfect. So again, it's just like communication will be key in terms of that. Everyone was picked in their preferred and most suitable roles in our team. So it's not as if we're ruling out or overlooking anything. We just feel that in our suitability for the role that this person was picked for this role especially. But again, like Aziz is extremely available in terms of communication, and I would like relay any issues. He would relay any issues to me, and myself to him, in terms of what can be done about every situation and how it can be resolved if there are any complications in the process.
All right, great. And how about Pursuit?
Yep, speaking for Team Pursuit, so obviously communication is going to play a huge role in that aspect, as if I won't be able to sit on the academic committee, but I do want to emphasize that there are still so many other committees that are available for the academic officer to sit on, including student engagement and the U Assembly Diagnostic Committee, and I think a lot of students will still benefit from this. So I do have full faith in our VP to be able to relay all the information that is necessary so that we as a whole collective can get what's done. Yep, thank you.
Great. We'll just do two more for each of you. So another one for both of you. This might be good for your societies officers. The number of clubs and societies in the school has reached a limit, according to student services. Hence, it would be difficult to start a new club or society, even if there is a close liaison with international organizations. So how would you, as the SU, deal with this problem so that potential new clubs or societies could be formed?
Who's first?
Pursuit. Sorry, Pursuit.
Pursuit.
I think our society's officer is having trouble with their internet connection. We just got a message there. I might just step in, as you said, similar to the other team having a spokesperson for their events officer. I think, as you said, this issue is definitely an ongoing one, and it's something that's coming and going back quite repeatedly. I think the main thing really is collaborating with student services, and I know that Keisha has been in contact and will continue that, specifically reviewing clubs and SOCs and facilitating any options that can be best to support. I think the other aspect here is regarding budget and acknowledging the fact that as a student union, we don't actually have that power or say. And I think that's just something that's really notable to bring to the attention of all the students that are listening to this debate. So I think it is very important, communication and collaborating and communicating with the student body and working in the means of what we have, and not trying to give false promises of increasing budgets when in fact that is in the hierarchy much higher up than student union. So thank you.
Great. And SU, same question.
Perfect. You're probably sick of hearing from me now, but just on that as well, like, we don't plan on promising the moon and the stars to people, but we will give it our best shot in terms of acting on behalf of the students in terms of why or why not they didn't get the society created or started, and then also mediating and showing transparency in terms of what was the position of student services, and then just fighting on behalf of the students who are involved in that situation. But again, we wouldn't be able to promise anything other than dialogue within the student services itself.
Sure. Right, great. All right, we'll move on to the next question. This one would be good for the welfare officers of both teams. How exactly are you going to tackle student well-being that, as you discussed earlier, and more specifically, how will you tackle well-being in regards to the current COVID-19 situation that we're all in? So why doesn't SU go first?
Anna, we can't hear you.
Yeah, Anna, your mic's not on there.
Unfortunately, no. Can't hear you still. Anything? Sorry, everybody. This is the challenges of a virtual debate.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Thank you for the question. Great question again, just to reiterate what we were saying earlier. We will, in terms of student well-being, obviously it's at the forefront, having been ranked, RCSI being ranked #1 in the world in good health and well-being this year. We plan to implement and build on workshops and training initiatives that are already in place in the college to try and kind of support student well-being and to try and also encourage students to support each other's well-being. So from training people to like teaching them about new subjects and stuff like that. We want people to kind of be able to feel supported from each other, not just from higher up counselling services and that kind of thing. And then also just running events, building events such as the Mental Health Awareness Week. We have the Pride Sock in collaboration with Student Welfare Office. They do the Pride event, which unfortunately couldn't go ahead this year. So just things like that, kind of building on what's already in place and just supporting students.
And that's time. Great. And Pursuit, same question.
Thank you so much for the question and also for Anna's reply as well. With regards to pursuit and welfare and online, I think it's very key that our manifesto is very pro-student and we've listened to the student. It's a holistic slice of what we can offer them. So when I say holistic self-care, so linking in with the gym, so we are already sort of touch base in that respect and ensuring that, let's say like the RCSI 10 kilometers, that there's always something physical there for students of all levels to work towards. As some of you might know, we have great mindfulness podcast series. So we'll be in the works of continuing that as a monthly endeavor for us to all to take part in. More yoga and meditation online. They're very achievable online as well as in person. The Freshers Care events, be they online or in person as well, to facilitate that lovely smooth integration that we all wanted and had when we were freshers. With regards as well, like the teen chats which Compass and IFA have already in place, we would like to take those on a grander scale for all classes and all groups and incorporate them into societies and clubs as well to ensure that it's both horizontal and hierarchical support that all our students are getting. So I think communication, collaborating and adapting is key, and we definitely supply all of that.
That's great. That's about time. So we'll just do a couple more. There's a lot of questions coming out of them, but just to make a note, if your question doesn't get answered, we'll put it up in the Q&As for each team to follow in the coming week. So don't worry, you'll get your answer one way or another. But just to hit a couple of really good ones that came through, for both teams, were your manifestos vetted by student services? And if so, do you think it's acceptable for the SU to be anything other than completely independent from college influence? So why doesn't Pursuit take that first?
I think we're just having internet connection again, Tim. Sorry. Can you repeat the question? We just caught the end of it.
Surely. The question is, since your manifestos are vetted by student services, do you think that it's acceptable for the SU to be anything other than completely independent from college influence?
That's a great question, and really deep and very much reflective of wanting to be independent. I think that student union is a great representative of the student voice and student body, and to advocate and try and facilitate any real change or maybe continue great initiatives, it should always be a collaboration effort between the student body as well as working hand in hand with college. And I think guidance and help shouldn't be shunned or shamed. And I think it's really good to have student services to guide us and help us. We were very grateful for their review of our manifestos, which we were very grateful to apply. So I think collaboration, help and guidance shouldn't be seen negatively. This is how we can really excel and do really well for the students.
Perfect. And SU, same question.
Yeah, I think that the role of the Students' Union really is to liaise between students and student services as well as the higher ups at RCSI. So I think obviously as much as possible we want the Student Union to be independent and we want students to be able to express their ideas. But at the same time we go to RCSI, and so you know, there's obviously going to be things that are going to be allowed and things that we just don't have the power to let people do. So I think that to our best of our ability, we should definitely, you know, increase communication between student services and the students and try and reach a happy medium so that we can express ourselves while still kind of representing RCSI the way that student services and the college feels acceptable. So yeah, thanks for the question.
Yeah, great answers to both of you. So, okay, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this one because it's probably the most popular in the chat and the most popular from our Instagram poll. But the question is specifically, what are you planning on doing about library hours at 26 York Street? So, SU, you can take that one first.
Hi, I will take that if that's okay. So this has been brought up so many times from like many people, but it's also like it's also tried by the previous SUs to extend the library hours, but it hasn't been really successful. So what we are planning to do is like, now that we've obtained the university status, we also like will bring this up again, and then ask for like the extension of the library hours. And if it is allowed, we could run a trial week for extended library hours for 24 hours. So yeah, that's our plan for now. And if that doesn't work, I will make sure that why it's not allowed and why it's not possible. I will find out why and then tell everyone why it's not possible. Yes.
Great. And
Nothing. Go ahead. Sorry. Go on. Sorry, man.
Yep. Go ahead. Yep, sure thing.
You think as an IT officer I'd have good broadband, but that's just kind of North Tipperary for you. In terms of the library hours, my name's Anthony, I'm the IT officer in Treasury. In terms of library hours, having held various positions inside in the college and having been sitting on internal and external quality review boards for the library, I know firsthand the difficulties that have been faced by the previous SUs in terms of trying to extend these library hours. I know firsthand the view that the Dean and the CEO of the college expresses on extending these library hours. So what we're proposing doing is using models based on similar universities, similar medicine universities throughout the world, and preferably ones with a higher ranking university status, modeling, seeing what kind of library models they have in place, and then using this to push the dean and the CEO and allowing students and allowing the library to open 24/7. We know there's various other reasons that we'll face in the meantime, but that's generally our approach to it.
And that's time. Thank you, Anthony. And then we'll just move into our last two questions for both teams. The first one came from, I mean, it's been asked in the chat, but it's also mentioned a number of times on the Instagram. So the question is, what role will you play in lobbying for students regarding fees, especially with the COVID-19 situation? Do you believe that increasing or the fees despite the situation is acceptable with the college being closed? And what will you do for students on behalf of the fee situation? So why doesn't Pursuit go first on the question about fees? Do we have anyone from Pursuit to answer that question?
Yeah, sorry, there's just a little bit of internet difficulty. So what we plan to do is basically going to progress on what the current SU have done with trying to lobby for tuition charges to be altered because of the financial difficulties some students are going through. And what we're going to do is further reinforce that and take on what students have, and with the different aspects of college, trying to push for a decrease in tuition. But we can't promise anything. What we can promise is that we will push and try to get into a collaborative effort with the college to get a better price for the students. But we hope that would be sufficient.
Great. And how about SU? Excuse me.
Yeah, so I'll take this question. It's a very good question. I think a lot will go into determining how we're going to go about that. I think the college, in combination with the Students' Union, will need to have a meeting and try and establish what services that the colleges would normally provide to students are not available anymore, and in some format come up with a way to decide, whether that warrants being able to decrease fees or what the outcome would be. But we obviously can't make any promises on anything like that. I think the best thing that we can do is just try and be transparent, try and be flexible, and we'll just provide students with the information that we get. So yeah, I think we'll just try and do our best to advocate for students.
Great. And moving into our last question for both teams. The question is, what is something that you and your team have that the other team does not? And how about SU? You can go first.
I'll take this one. I think I know everyone on the team quite well. I think a great thing about our team is that we're all very experienced, and the team was selected in that way for this upcoming year. Most of us have had experience in different degrees before this, and lots of societies and that sort of thing, and held numerous leadership positions. So we selected the team that way because we know that this upcoming year will be very challenging with COVID. So I think that our team is incredibly experienced and well equipped for the year that's coming up, as well as everybody on our team they're really nice people, and they're just normal students, and they're here to advocate for students. And so I can't speak highly enough of my team.
Great. And Pursuit?
So I'll be taking this question. What our team has is a type of unity with diversity. It shows that you can be independent and collaborative, even if you have a lot of differences. Because of the range of classes, experiences, and different leader positions in RCSI, not just from societies, not just from clubs, even when it comes to administrative roles, from the point of view of committees and so on, we have different people with different experiences. So together as a whole, we can bring you an RCSI experience that has representation of different age groups, different experiences, different programs, different levels, and different aspects of engagement with the college. So as a whole, what we can offer you is a range of experiences with a range of different voices and diversities.
All right, brilliant, just in time. So that's gonna close our audience Q&A session, but again, we have a number of Q&As for each individual team set up for next week, so we'll carry some of these questions over you can certainly submit more questions on the current SU Instagram so that you can get all the answers that you're looking for. And now I will pass it off to Javid, who's going to move into closing remarks.
Okay, hi everybody. That was very, very exciting. I know it didn't sound like that. No, when we're in the physical space, people just be like clapping and cheering and jumping on the desk and stuff, but this one will have to do. I think you answered very well. We're gonna give each team 2 minutes to answer, to say a closing remark. But before we do that, just to remind you all, as Tim said, if you have any questions, you could leave them in the chat. We're gonna take a look at all of them, put them in a list, and then we're gonna have these Q&A sessions on the Instagram where we're gonna allow each team a chance to answer. We'll post them up either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So you all will still get a chance to ask questions and to get answers on to the general public on the Instagram. So keep them coming. So since SU started with the opening statement, we're gonna give Team Pursuit the chance for a closing statement, which is gonna be 2 minutes long. So Team Pursuit, would you all like to begin?
Yep. Okay, so the 8 of us came together under unusual circumstances, which goes without saying. Most of us did not know each other beforehand, and so the idea of creating a team that is as united, driven, and cohesive as the past SUs have been seemed like the most ominous and daunting task of this entire process. But with every time we sat down and talked to each other, whether it was about like SU campaign, we were talking to Fatima about her job, or Anthony just wanted to sing a song to us, we realized how comfortable we were with each other, how similar our ideas were, how passionate we were about this, and how we really wanted to create an environment in RCSI in which no student ever really felt left out of. Regardless of whether you were coming in as a first year, leaving as a final year, if you were in pharmacy, physio, med, the GEM program, wherever you were from, we wanted to make sure that everybody felt included. We wanted to make sure that every student felt that they had a voice, that every student felt special at each event, and most importantly, that each student felt at home and welcomed by the RCSI community. Because for the 8 of us, that's what we've experienced. That RCSI has been nothing short of phenomenal to us. And we've met so many amazing and wonderful people and gotten to take advantage of so many extraordinary opportunities at this college. And with the amazing experience we've had, we feel that it's about time that we actually start to give back to a place that's been so brilliant to us and make sure that each student has the same experience. So regardless today of whoever succeeds in this campaign, my hope is that both teams will have learned something from not only this debate, but this whole campaign, and will use that and bring it to fruition at the end of all of this. So I want to thank you very much for listening to us. Thank you very much, all of you, for all of your questions. And I hope that today, after all of this, we have shown you that we can give you, that you'll look back in your time. This is the best time of our life.
Thanks very much for the closing statement from Pursuit. So that was Team Pursuit. Now we're going to give Team SU 2 minutes long to give their closing statement as well. So who will be speaking?
Me. And
Brilliant.
As well as me.
Oh, brilliant. Fire.
Oh, am I starting? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hi. Hi, I'm Thea. I'm going to be closing off. I just want to say thank you, firstly, to the SU, because it's really hard to completely change campaign into a virtual thing, and it must have been really taxing. So I really want to thank you all for that, and I want to thank everyone listening to this debate and for taking the time to really pay attention to our campaign. And I understand how important it is to have students represent you in RCSI. The courses that we're studying are really taxing, they are really hard, and we want to be the people who make your life as easy as possible. We want to make your experience in RCSI as the best experience as we can manage, and we want to listen, and we want to be approachable and just have fun with you guys. That's really what our aim is. And yeah, no, team is great, absolutely amazing. Everyone here, probably some of the best people I know, and I want to thank everyone. I really want to thank Team Pursuit as well. Your campaign is great. It has been amazing talking to you guys and working with you guys as well. Thank you.
So yeah, I'll just pick up from Athir. Thanks, Athir. Like, listen, I could go on about our plans or our ideas, but at the end of the day, what makes a successful SU is the people who make up that team. And like I said, I can't say enough about each one of my teammates. They're truly amazing individuals, and I just feel really lucky to be a part of this team. I think if I could, I probably would have spoken about them for the entire debate. So it's for this reason and many more that I wholeheartedly believe that the 7 students that stand with me as part of Team SU will best represent RCSI next year. Although their amazing ideas, our team plans, or even pretty Instagram graphics are a big part of what makes Team SU so special, it's who each one of these people are at their core that will be the biggest asset to RCSI next year. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thanks very much to both the teams. That is essentially the debate, everyone. As I said before, send us your questions. You could also email us questions at su@rcsi.com. You could send it to the Instagram account that we have. You could send it to the Facebook. We'll be able to send the questions onto the teams, and again, you'll be able to see their answers. So thanks very much to both Team Pursuit and to Team SU. I think on behalf of us, it's very, very nice to see the campaign going so well. You all have some brilliant ideas, and I think regardless of who does actually win, I think RCSI will be in good hands. So congratulations to both of you all for reaching this far. And we have a couple more days to go. So everybody tune into both of their Instagram accounts, find out what's going on for them, and again, read their manifestos, decide what is the best team to represent you for the next year, because they're going to be representing you in everything from academic affairs to events. And you really want somebody in your corner for that, somebody who you trust. So think about it. Thanks very much for joining us. And we will see you all. Well, we won't see you all again, but goodbye.
Yeah, make sure to send questions. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for coming. Thanks very much, Mohammed. I appreciate that. All right. Also, I apologize for my roommate coming in his boxers. I was hoping nobody realized, but thank you. All right, guys, we're heading out now, so I'm gonna end the call. The recording is gonna be up as well, so you can see that. Bye.